What's up, everyone? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Reoz, bringing you guys this slate on New Year's Day here on PrizePicks. So, thank you guys for hopping with us here on New Year's Day. It's an awesome holiday. We had some nice college football yesterday for New Year's Eve. We didn't get the video out, but there's a lot of different sports going on, some things going on, and the NBA games started really early in the day, and there were some good solid games at night. We still were updating our Patreon stuff as the night went on. So thank you for everyone who's joined over there. And it's the first of the month. So number one, Happy New Year, and number two, this is an awesome time to join the Patreon. I mean, the first of the month, you get charged at the beginning of every month for Patreon. So you sign up. If you sign up today, you'll be able to get the full month of content. It'll be an awesome experience for you guys. For real, we've been putting in some work over there, and we're just getting better every day. That goes on. The picks have been playing really well. Things have been going well for us. So if you want to support us further and hop into the Patreon, that'd be amazing. And then if this is your first time joining us on Prize Picks, man, if you never played Prize Picks before, it's a very simplified daily fantasy sports app where you take over-unders on different props for players. So they offer different categories. We're here in the points category, and Brandon Ingram's at 25.5 tonight. You can take the over-under on him. You can pair him up with someone in college football. You can pair him up with NFL. We do NFL video on Sunday. And if you haven't signed up before, use promo code UPSTATE when you sign up, and you get a 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $100. So Riaz is going to tell you a little bit about what we offer on the Patreon, and then we'll get into the video.
Yeah, happy New Year's, everyone. I hope you guys had a great little stretch of holidays. Yeah, like Dal said, this is the best time to join our Patreon. You get full content. Yeah, full content. With NFL kind of slowing down, wrapping into playoffs, it's going to be a phenomenal time to join NBA. We know how awesome NBA has been for us as of late, so definitely join the Patreon. No better time than the first of the month. www.patreon.com/upstate.
Yeah, the link for that will also be in the description, as well as a free Discord we offer, a nice community we have going down over there. And that's a good place to stay updated as things are going on with all the COVID and health and safety protocols for the NBA, too. So it's a good way to kind of stay in the loop, especially if you're busy, you got work or something like that, and you're like, hey, let me check the Discord, see who's in, see who's out. So also Twitter, too. You can there's a couple people you can follow on Twitter who give awesome updates over there. So let's dive into the slate, man. Like I said, 6 games. We got a game that starts at 6:30. And so it's a little bit earlier than usual, but no big deal. A lot of guys here, and it's a lot of good games in my opinion. And this slate isn't as filled with all the COVID stuff. I mean, some of the studs are still playing here, which I'd like to see. Still got the Giannis's, the Jokic's, the DeRozans and whatnot, the Beals. So it's a nice little slate here. Kevin Durant's here and James Harden's here. So who do you like tonight?
Yeah, I mean, just starting with this 6:30 game. Brandon Ingram's questionable, so you could definitely look for guys like Graham, Hart, Jones, and even on this Milwaukee side, um, there's no Chris Middleton, so we could see Holiday get a little bump. Definitely Grayson Allen. I mean, at 6.5, we saw the production Grayson Allen has when Giannis is out, when Middleton is out, even when Drew Holiday's out. So he is a great guy. Just scoring wise, I wouldn't really take him in any other category. He's just primarily a scorer, plays pretty good defense, but at 9.5, that just seems like a really good discount for him against this Pelicans team. And with the Pelicans, I mean, there's no Joe Val, so Bobby Portis is definitely in play for points. So just a bunch of guys for this 6:30 game.
Yeah, the 6:30 game's not bad. We were on Herbert Jones. Before when Ingram was out. If Ingram's out tonight, I like Herbert Jones a lot, especially with no Jovel. When Jovel was in, he still went for 26 against Cleveland, and that's a tough Cleveland team. I know they're dealing with some stuff injury wise, but they're a pretty good defensive squad no matter what. And Jones had a really good game, so I don't mind going to Jones. So monitor that Ingram news. We'll go down a little bit, and no Spencer Dinwiddie. So Bradley Beal looks really good tonight. With or without Dinwiddie, Beal puts up a tremendous volume of shots. And honestly, here last game without Dinwiddie, 23 shots, not the most we've seen on the season. We've seen games where he's put up 24, but 5 3-pointers, hit 2 of them. We can see a lot more volume here tonight with no Dinwiddie, especially going against Chicago. This is going to be a tough game. It's in Washington, which is nice to see. So Beal tonight I think looks good. The points seem a little high, but this is a guy who was like leading the league in scoring last year. So don't be afraid to go to Beal, even if his numbers have not looked as good so far this season. We know he's going to get it going.
Without a doubt, and as of late, he has started to look a little bit better, shooting the three ball, definitely a lot better. Which, in part, you see 37 against Utah, 30 against the Kings. And just talking about Utah, a guy that I'm really never on for points, and that's Steph Curry. I mean, we were on Anthony Edwards last night on the Patreon. He was at 23 and a half. He ended up hitting that over, which was awesome to see. Utah has a really big problem guarding guards, guarding the 3 point line. Anthony Edwards went 4 for 10 from three last night. So, I mean, Stephen Curry, 4 out of the last five. Unbelievable. We know he's the all time record holder for most threes made in his career so far. And only adding to that total, Utah gives up a lot of points to guards. I mean, it's really crazy to think. It's crazy to think how great of a defense Utah plays between Conley, Mitchell, and Gobert, but 28 and a half, I can see him going for 30 like everyone else seems to be doing against this Utah team.
I believe so too. I mean, Utah. I mean, obviously their interior defense is phenomenal, but like you said, guarding, the perimeter, it hasn't been good this season. You would think it would be a lot better than what it is, especially with some guys like Clarkson comes up with some energy. I mean, someone like Joe Ingles and Bogdanovich, stuff like that. You think they'd help, and Royce O'Neal is a good defender. I don't know what they're gonna do to defend Curry tonight, but Curry gets his. It seems like every single night. He's not a bad play. I don't think at 28 and a half for sure. And right next to him, I kind of like Donovan Mitchell and like the monkey see, monkey do kind of scenarios. Realistically, I think when someone's like starting to like if Curry starts going crazy tonight, Mitchell's that type of guy that's just gonna like try to like one up him. Like I feel like Mitchell's that kind of player. It just reminds me of that series where Utah won against Denver in the bubble, and it was just like Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, back and forth, back and forth. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were just trading buckets. And Mitchell's looked really good lately. I mean, 39 coming off Minnesota last night. I mean, he can really keep it rolling tonight. And if, Curry's shooting him from 35 feet, Mitchell's not scared to pull him either. So I think both those guys look good. I can see both of these guards going crazy tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, like you said, they're just going to go back and forth, and we kind of saw that last night with Mitchell and Edwards. So definitely, definitely two nice plays here.
And then I just wanted to bring up, Durant and Harden. I mean, just based off hit rate, I mean, Durant, literally the last five looks amazing. He's just been going crazy. We know Durant's upside night in, night out. Going against this kind of depleted Clipper squad, I mean, could it blow out? Definitely. Harden, too, he's looked pretty good as of the last five. 33, 39 against this Clippers team a couple days ago. Looks really good. I mean, both of them popped against, Harden and Patty Mills had a good game against the Clippers. But Kevin Durant was out against that game. So, like I said, it could blow out. But let's hop over to rebounds, man. So, a couple guys here I think look pretty good. Who interests you here in rebounds?
I'm going to butcher this name, but Vucevic. He going against the Wizards. If you just look at his last three, 16, 20, and 7. I was watching that game against the Pacers last night. He had 10 boards in the first half. I can kind of see him doing that here against the Wizards with Montrezl Harrell still out. Daniel Gafford just does not have the size to match up with Vucevic. He's just been on a tear. He's been playing very well, and with how well Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan has been playing, he doesn't really need that scoring output, but he needs to continue to keep crashing the boards. We saw what he was able to do when he was on Orlando, dropping 2020s almost every single game. It was kind of crazy to see, and everyone was a little nervous how Vucevic started this season. He started off very slow, didn't grab that many rebounds, didn't score many points, but as of late, he looks like a whole new guy, and he looks really phenomenal for this team.
Yeah, I love this pick, man. He's one of those guys that I wanted to go to tonight for sure. Vucevic looks really good at 11.5. We just saw the Warriors. No, I meant to go down to someone against the Warriors. But we saw the Wizards give up a lot of rebounds to other centers so far this season, and I really like him. We've went to Clint Capella a couple of times going against this Wizard squad, who definitely played really well. But I wanted to talk about Rudy Gobert going against the Warriors. He's a guy that can really smash any given night, so I wanted to bring him up. We've seen the upside really with 17, 16. That's against Minnesota twice in the last five. But we saw Nikola Jokic. Not Nikola Jokic. Was it Jokic? Yeah, it was just the Nuggets
Yeah,
and the Warriors. Yeah, they
yeah,
just played. Yeah, and he went he went berserk against them as well. So, yeah, we're just talking about all these foreign names: Gobert, Vucevic. Yo, I'm getting so thrown off. But yeah, no, Gobert. I think he's viable tonight, as well as Vucevic. So I don't mind relying on some of these bigger names here, some of the best rebounders in the league to get us there tonight. I mean, you can look at some guards. Portis has been playing pretty well out of the last five. He's a guy you can look to. Giannis, viable to smash any night. So anyone else here? Or do you want to jump to assists?
No, well, we could jump to assists. You touched on those guys perfectly.
So for me, I mean, Reggie Jackson came back. He pushed on this last line, but we know the playmaking upside is there for Reggie Jackson. I mean, going against Brooklyn, I think this is a pretty good matchup for him. Jokic triple-double upside, and we were on Porter last night, Kevin Porter Jr., and he just burnt us, man. I mean, I don't mind. His line comes down point 0.5 from last night. I think he looks pretty decent going against Denver. I think no one should be that scared of that game against Miami. I mean, I don't mind going back to him really tonight either.
Yeah, I mean, the big problem with him was he had three fouls very early in this game. I mean, he had two fouls in the first quarter, which kind of held him out for a while, and then he got back in the second quarter and immediately fouled. So he didn't play much in the first quarter, didn't play much in the third, but he got decent run in the fourth and got to 4 assists, which really didn't matter. His line was at 6, so that was just tough to see. But at 5.5, if he can just stay out of foul trouble, he will be fine. I think we saw what Eric Gordon was doing when Kevin Porter Jr. was out, racking up the assists, and I think Porter's just going to jump right back into what he was doing, and that's just being the playmaker for this team. He's got a lot of energy, has great court vision, and at 5.5 against this Denver team, I do really like this line.
I do too. I mean, the pace really slows down against Denver. They play at literally the slowest pace in the league right now. Per 36 too. And I think that opens up some spots for Kevin Porter Jr. to get some pick and roll going with Christian Wood. Gordon's a guy on the outside that can shoot the ball really well. Jalen Green looks really good. I mean, this team's pretty solid, man. They're a young team, but we've seen stretches where they've won some games so far this season. I think adding Porter Jr. back into the mix will help them. They've looked competitive in a lot of games, so don't mind going to him. And then anyone else here? I mean, Bradley Beal, we talked about him. He went for 10 last game against Cleveland. I mean, we talked to him in the points. Anyone here interest you?
I mean, a guy right next to him, I just want to highlight. I'm not sure if I'm going to be going to him, but DeMar DeRozan has been going crazy with assists. We saw 10 against the first time they played Atlanta, 8 the second time, 6 against the Pacers, and then even against Houston, he had 6. And without Lonzo, they got to look for somebody here. We know Kobe White just looks phenomenal. With the assists, we saw that double double, but there's no line for him out. So definitely either DeMar DeRozan, or if they drop a line for Kobe White around 4. If it's up to 5 or 6, I'm not sure I'm going to be going there, but don't mind DeRozan. 4 out of the last 5.
I don't mind him either, man. He's in a pretty good spot going against Washington as well. We'll jump to three-pointers made. And, we got some shooters on here, man. I mean, Harden's a guy that's looked a lot better. He had the game against Atlanta and Philly that don't look good. But, he's been shooting the ball a lot better. That can't be ignored. Zach LaVine goes out there and literally hits 0 against, the Pacers, which doesn't look good. I wish his line was at 2.5. It would be an absolute smash spot. 3 scares me a little bit because I thought he would have took a lot more threes than he did last night, but he ended up not even shooting that many. But anyone here you want to get to?
I mean, you could definitely look at Johnson here at 1.5. Detroit plays very up pace, and the Spurs, they're not the team as when it was like 2003, 2014. I mean, this team is young. They play very fast. I'm pretty sure DeJounte Murray is coming back tonight. But regardless if he's in or out, we saw that stretch of games where Johnson was just making 3-pointers a game, and I don't mind that 1.5 here against Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, 2 games ago he went against Detroit, 3 games ago rather, and he went for 4, against them already. So I think he looks good. Mitchell, I was talking about Mitchell and the points as well. He's a guy, like I said, that can kind of battle Curry here tonight, going for threes. I think he looks pretty good as well. So those 2 guys look good to me. And then over in fantasy score, man, there's a couple guys I think look good, and it's more or less the people who get more usage as things unfold, in terms of, COVID stuff, people, being ruled out. So who here in fantasy score do you want to go to?
I really don't mind Willie Herman Gomez. I believe that's how you say it.
Yeah.
27. We know his rebounding upside. It's really just going to come down to if he's going to score. Um, he's got that upside where he can grab 15, 16 boards. And against this Milwaukee team with really only Bobby Portis and Giannis that grab just a ton of boards, there's going to be a lot left for this Pelican center. So at 27, that seems like a pretty nice line.
So yeah, this is one I looked at too, and I think people will be shying away from it. People might go unders, so I think this line literally might go down a little bit more, which even makes it more intriguing. Honestly, like he's getting a lot more usage with um, what's his face being out. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Valanciunas.
Yeah,
Valanciunas.
Valanciunas. I'm screwing up every single name tonight. But realistically, yeah, he gets a big usage bump from him, and then if Ingram's out, it even looks better. So he can't be ignored for sure. Sadiq Bey, he's been playing really well. Diallo's a guy that looks really good tonight as well. So I talked Jackson before. He's at 28. He's a guy that, like I said, he's got upside of going against OKC and Utah. If he can get his playmaking ability going, he's a guy that definitely can go out there and score 20 points. We've seen it even with Paul George in him go out there and score 20 points, rack up 5 assists, 2 or 3 steals. So he's a guy that could do it. 28 seems pretty low for me. And Kevin Porter Jr., we're waiting for another breakout game. We were on him early in the season. Especially on some other sites, like a DraftKings or a FanDuel, we were like pushing Kevin Porter Jr. heavy. But here in fantasy score 29, it's not bad. So anything else here? Do you want to wrap this up?
I just got one more. If DeJounte Murray is active and is playing 25, 28 minutes tonight, I would look for an under on Derek White. 38 just seems like it's a lot of fantasy score if DeJounte Murray is going to be out there. We know the production Murray has with his triple double upside, but it just takes away from a lot of the intangibles that Derek White has to offer. He won't be racking up 6, 7 assists, grabbing 5, 6 boards. He's gonna kind of take a step back and kind of more rely on his shooting. So at 38, that seems like a lot if DeJounte Murray is going to be in.
That's one I definitely was looking at too. I think that looks really good. And under on him if Murray plays. So let's monitor that news. And let's have a good time tonight, man. It's New Year's. It's a holiday. Enjoy this. Enjoy this holiday. Like I said, we talked about the Patreon already. Hop in it if you haven't. Awesome time to join. Reoz just put his article up about an hour ago. Mine's gonna be uploaded after this video. But a lot of big things coming out soon. Like I said, it's not like we just did the Patreon and that's what it is. I mean, we're thinking about new ideas every single day. This channel has grown significantly. We're ready to just keep this thing growing, keep expanding, and helping you guys out. So thank you guys for all the support. Let's smash this slate. So we'll see you guys after on the next video. Peace.